I don't see it.
Fantastic.
Here we are.
All right.
Oh, there we are. Except I think I'm frozen. Maybe I'm late. All right, I'm gonna stop looking on there. Hey, everybody. I'm Josh. I'm here with Archers of Loaf. You can see Eric Bachman up there by himself, and then Eric Johnson, Mark Price, and Matt Gentling. Where are you three?
We're at my house.
Eric's bunker.
Have you all been there the whole quarantine?
We were scared that there were protesters outside, so we ran to the bunker. We heard that was the thing to do. No, we're at Eric's house in North Asheville.
And can you introduce the doggy?
Yes, this is Sophie.
Sophie, say hi.
Her nickname is Fudge Swirl. And she's a good girl.
Solid.
If the questions get hard, maybe she can answer. And Eric, do you tell everybody where you're at?
I'm in Athens, Georgia, at my screened-in porch.
Wonderful.
Oh, I've got to take a call.
That's cool.
No,
We can wait.
I'm joking. Bachman, you're on our big-ass TV in here.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good.
Feels shiny.
Feels like I finally found home. Being on your big-ass TV.
So
it shows you normal size because the TV's so big.
So we just watched the concert film.
We didn't.
You didn't. Everybody else on here did. But you lived it. You don't have to watch
Yeah,
it.
that's right. That's right. It's right here.
I want to ask about, because I don't know if you guys have talked about this too much, but it feels like there's a curse going on now. I want to ask about the curse of the loaf.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's the whole thing. But I feel like there are examples over.
That's all us.
It definitely kicked up a notch. I mean, it used to be like we'd have a show and the club burns down the night before the show. That happened in Austin.
Yeah.
The tornado hit the club just recently, the night or a couple nights before we were going to play there. What were the other things? Like van breakdowns in Europe. We had some really good ones.
Van breakdowns in America. We had some good ones.
Yep. We got like the Norwegian government didn't seem to want to let us in the country one time. And so we were bouncing around in the compound, trying to follow their directions. Their directions were a little bit complicated and weird. And finally, the guy that kept stopping us at the gate, we pull up to the gate and tell him we had to go get a ton of money out of HOP to pay these weird taxes they kind of made up just to get into the country. And because we got there on a ferry, so we weren't just going to hop on the ferry and go back. Wasn't an option. And so we pull up to the gate for the dude to come and yell at us, and he wasn't there. Like I think he might have been taking a leak or something, but all of a sudden everybody leans forward and goes, "Punch it!" And Eric Johnson was driving our van at the time, and off we went roaring into Norway. And
right side drive too.
It was a right side drive van, and Eric piloted it like a champ.
And we were taking all those little tiny back roads.
Yeah, it was killer. It was
Like,
great.
if they're coming after us, they're not going to go this way.
Yeah, in Norway, people don't know this, but trolls will pop up out of the woods.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
Eric dodged every single one of them. He left. There were no trolls for him.
So it sounds like you broke the curse with that, though.
Well, yeah, we kind of.
Or
That's our life
that
is
made it official.
working with the curse. We just try to work with it. What other curse things?
Our rider truck got stolen.
Yeah.
Broken into and then
Broken
towed.
into and towed.
Yeah, that was great.
Not for anything we did. It was the company, people, their renters had violated so many parking laws in New York that the New York cops were like, well, you see anything from that company, just seize that thing. And they seized it. And it took us a while to get it back. We missed a show. That was another thing.
Missed a show in Philadelphia.
Yep. We had a plane have to turn back once about an hour out of Heathrow because the autopilot wouldn't work.
Right.
And that caused us to miss our next flight. I don't know, it was a handful of stuff like that.
We got rushed onto the plane leaving Bergen because they were closing the airport because of snow, and they're like, "Well, we can get you guys."
That's right.
You're gonna
You guys have to go.
Yeah, and then we waited and watched the trucks come up and de-ice the wings, and yeah,
That was exciting.
That was a first for me.
And there was that one time I got a paper cut. You remember that?
Oh,
Epic.
Forget that.
Yeah, that was bad.
Won't stop.
It was.
Yeah.
So is it just the 5 of us right now?
It's just are you expecting more people?
No. I just checking.
We got people coming over.
Oh, that's cool. So, but it's supposed to be kind of a big Archers year this year. You guys had a bunch of shows, obviously, that got canceled. I don't want to dwell on that too much because these new songs are awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, it's my
Gosh.
pleasure. How much debate did you guys have? So we watched this. The concert film was 9 years ago, which makes me feel old.
I know it is.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Josh.
Yeah, no, it ain't no problem.
It's not
Matt, you're the most handsome of all, always. So.
Yeah, thanks. Your check is in the mail, buddy.
Oh man. And then 9 years later, new song. So how much debate was there about whether to make new Archers music?
I don't think there was any.
There wasn't a debate. It's just how do you do it? When do you have time to do it? And when you get everybody together to rehearse it and all that good stuff, all the logistics of that.
It seemed like it came about kind of slowly.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, I don't know.
But the decision to do it, how long ago did you guys say like, okay, well, let's make?
I think we would have done it after White Trash Heroes if we could have kept doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there was a decision to consciously stop. I just think that music is hard,
Mhm.
and we
We
just,
suffer.
it's one thing to be in the same town, living with the same people before the internet, and your focus in life is being in that particular band, and then, many years later, you've got a job or you're doing something else, or you're all living in different cities, and so it's just harder to logistically do it. So for me, that's my perspective on it. It's just it's different. I think we all have a healthy disdain, for lack of a better word, of trying to make things just by sending files. I think you can get to a point by doing that. I'll send you some files, EJ. I'll send you some files, Mark. I'll send you some files, Matt. We'll do all that. You send stuff back and forth. That's fine to a point, just to learn things, math. But I think we all agree that, I can't speak for everybody, but I think we all agree, like, we need to be in a room and be loud, to do what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think if it works for you, it works. Like it'll work for some people. It just, for us, it wasn't the ideal.
No, I don't think it works for anybody. No, I'm kidding. My way or the
Especially now,
highway.
you guys. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. It can work many different ways, but for us, for our aesthetic and for what we did in the 90s and what we want to do now, it's very much a rock band. We want it to feel good in the room.
Yeah.
We went through a long phase, I feel like, where it was sort of like, well, I wouldn't mind writing some more new songs.
Oh yeah, I think from the
Like where we all saying that, but we didn't really broach the subject formally.
Yeah. It's just hard to do it.
Yeah.
So why come at it from like a couple singles? Did you guys not have enough? Did you not feel like making a whole record? Did you feel like that was too much to sort of promise right away, or what?
For me, it was that I had a significant writer's block from the get go with Archer stuff, because the idea of making a record was choking me, and so what I did was, well, then don't make a record, let's do a single, and then all of a sudden this stuff started coming out that way. So, and then obviously, the era that we live in, just put out singles, man. No, it's fun to do. I don't know if, this is just for now. We might make a record later. I don't know. We're just kind of, and I think we all wanted to tour. Is that right, guys? We wanted to tour, so we knew if you put a record out in 2020, if you put a record out, the cycle's over in a month. Like, there's so many freaking records out now. You put out an album, and if you want to tour for 2 years, but if you put out a new single every 2 months, then you always have a reason to tour.
For me, it was just, we wanted to play some more shows. We were getting a hankering again. And for me, it was just the whole idea of writing more songs, just because it was such a pleasant experience. back in the day doing it, and I knew that I loved playing with these guys, and it was always fun. So even if we didn't like anything we came up with, it would still be a good experience just trying it out. And that was what appealed to me about it.
Eric B., you wrote something kind of seemed vaguely sarcastic and funny about where these songs.
Really?
What?
I mean,
It was not
but it's
sarcastic? Did you look at a list of every Archer song and
No,
actually?
I didn't look at a list, but I didn't feel like it was. I kind of felt like that, you know. It's certainly got a sense of humor about it. I'm not taking anything too seriously or anything, but I think it ranks about in the middle, you know. You know, which I'm proud of that. It's fine, you know.
Well, I mean, this many years later, if it's anywhere below the very bottom, you should be happy.
Yeah, yeah, you do your best, you know.
Are there consensus songs that are like at the top of that list, if there's an imaginary list?
I don't know if these guys know what we're talking about, because I wrote a blurb about the new songs. It's the, you know how we ask the label to write our songs for us?
Yeah.
They ask us to write the retail blurbs. I'm just kidding. So I had to write this thing for the, and I'm just always like, I don't have to say, man. I don't know what to say, you know.
Yeah.
So I just say stupid stuff, and it basically I ranked the songs anyway. So Josh is asking what our favorite songs are, I guess, from the Archers days. What are the highest ranking ones?
The EP seems to be the one that we play live the most. In terms, we play every song off that EP like most shows.
Yeah.
I do have favorites though. I like Distance Comes from Groves.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Worst, like the trilogy we call it. Worst Defense.
Yeah.
Killer Bees.
Although we've been playing Billigy lately.
Billigy, yeah, lately it's been Billigy.
That's my fault though.
That's Eric wanted to keep it exciting. He thought.
I just thought Reynolds' thing was too slow for the set. If we wanted to rock people's faces off, so let's not do
That's
that.
it.
Bore people with the.
We ain't got time for that.
Well, but I see your point though. I'm wrong about that, maybe.
Well, no, I don't know. Not necessarily. I think it worked as a Billigy as well. Yeah,
it did. It did. But Reynolds' thing was the closer of that trilogy, and it was a little slow, and you know.
It was an atmosphere piece.
Yeah,
that's right.
It was about the truck being stolen in New York.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was. We were parked right by the Twin Towers for pretty much all day.
That's fake news.
Trying to, yeah, right.
That's fake news. There's no Twin Towers. That never happened.
We heard it here first. The Archers are right-wing conspiracy theorists.
Yeah,
that's us. That's why we're in a bunker.
I was gonna say.
Meet my friend Alex Jones. Yeah.
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 How'd you do?
My favorites.
It was great because they told
EP
me that
too,
it was
Matt.
positive.
Yeah.
The EP. I think we were at our best in that EP. I think just the nature of how we recorded it and how we were and the way it was just kind of came out, you know, effortlessly. Not effortlessly, but it seemed effortlessly.
Yeah.
I do like how all over the map White Trash Heroes was. Honestly, I liked how kind of eclectic it was, or there are just songs of all different types on it. I enjoyed that.
I forget, did you guys play any shows on White Trash Heroes, or did it come out and you were done?
No, we did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
When did it come out? Was it middle of '98?
No.
Oh man, I don't remember. I had gone to Alaska with my friend Craig, and then
It was because we recorded it. There was a late spring snowstorm that I drove through coming back from Nashville or from Memphis from doing the main tracks on that. That was springtime. So however long it took us to get the thing to come out after that. So it would have been, I think it was like late summer, maybe, because we could
Google it.
We could Google it. Maybe we can have somebody who's watching this Google it and put it in the comments because we're busy.
My girlfriend who's watching this right now is probably making fun of me because I'm terrible at Google.
Yeah.
Do you know the actor Brian Husky at all? Like he's an old friend of ours, and I was watching a Bob's Burgers episode, and he did one of the voices on there. He did regular size Rudy, and I I sent him a message. I was like, man, how did I not know you were regular sized Rudy? And he goes, I don't know, I guess because you're shitty at Google. And it was hilarious. And I told my girlfriend about it. And now, like, yeah, she likes to make fun of how bad I am at Google. But they're both right. I am pretty bad at Google. It's on the
great at Google, man.
It's on the web.
I've been telling my friends about you Googling.
Please don't.
I think it's awesome.
Because I might want your friends to be my friends, and they won't be my friend.
September 22nd, 1998.
Nice.
When?
There it is.
I got people in my ear, man.
Okay. Well, all right then. So yeah, and then we did that tour. How long was that tour? Like a month or so? Month and a half?
Oh, I thought it was 7 weeks. Usually they're around seven.
Yeah, that was sort of our sweet spot, 7 weeks. That was the speaking of Curse of the Loaf, we decided to do a bus tour. I thought we'd try it out. And it did not go well. The bus kept breaking down. The driver, God bless him, he was an all right guy. His dad owned the company, and I don't think his dad probably wanted him to follow in his footsteps, and his heart wasn't really in it, but he probably didn't know what else to do. So bus driving wasn't really for him, but he drove past cities. He drove past at least 2 cities.
Albany?
He drove past Albany, and he drove past London, Ontario.
That's right.
And then drove the wrong way down a one-way street in downtown Vancouver. That was awesome because we were all dressed up as pirates. So that, if you're gonna drive the wrong way in a bus down a one-way street in downtown Vancouver, you might as well have a bunch of people yelling and looking like pirates.
Yeah.
Just like the old saying goes.
Yeah, like the old grandma always said.
Yep. I'm going to get to some fan questions here. You guys like fans?
Yes.
We don't have any. I don't know what that feels like.
Well, there's 268 people watching right now. So you have 268 at minimum fans.
Sweet. Thank you, guys.
Andrew Chan wants to know what you're listening to nowadays and how your sort of musical tastes have changed over the years. I know in the doc, I don't know if you guys remember, but you kind of talk about things that influenced you a little bit when you were younger, but I think Andrew wants to know kind of what's playing now.
I'm listening to a lot of children's music because I have a 3-year-old.
I listen to a lot of children's music because I am a 3-year-old. Yeah. I've been listening to Tropical Fuckstorm.
Yeah, they're cool. Their guitars are really cool. Yeah,
I love their stuff, and they're amazing live. And I've been revisiting some old stuff, like you do when you're old. Like you go back and listen to the stuff that you were too cool, or you thought you were too cool for before. Like that Ethiopiques thing. I've been listening to that. Amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
I've been listening to a lot of heavy stuff too, like Harvey Milk and some metal.
I've been listening to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Nice, yeah.
It's pretty random.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Catchy.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old's very much into Strawberry Fields Forever.
Oh, that's good.
Video.
I know what your son's favorite song is, though.
What is it?
Dirty Deeds by AC.
Yeah, he loves Dirty Deeds. AC does. He loves that shit. Yeah, he loves that.
And his favorite part of the song is when Bon Scott goes, "Oh."
It is. It is. He likes that. He's kind of gone. He likes Mr. Tambourine Man by Bob Dylan, and he really likes Strawberry Fields Forever. He really likes the Beatles, and he likes Yellow Submarine because the video. So it's a weird thing. You're talking about old music that you haven't listened to in years or whatever. That's a lot of stuff I've been listening to lately, which is a boring thing because it's obvious that everybody listens to that. But just today yeah.
You show everybody your shirt, EB, if you're not embarrassed.
No, I mean,
What you got, Eric? Let's see it. I can't. I'm too blind. I see a farm animals.
Oh,
it says
like a bucket of chicken.
That's what it says. Mark got it.
What is it?
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna see it.
Is it a howling wolf? God.
Yeah, it's a howling wolf.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Is that a Lion King reference?
It's Lion King, yeah.
Okay.
That's some of my least favorite music from Elton John.
when I was doing the tower job, my crew guy, the badge, he had to explain that movie Frozen to me because everybody was talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. My pop culture, I'm turning into my own grandfather.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything about anything.
Yeah. That happened.
You don't need to know Frozen unless you have a child. Even then.
Yeah. He explained it, and I still didn't get it. But now I at least know, like when I see a poster or like my friend's kid dressed up for Halloween, I'll be like, oh yeah, you're whatever her name is. But that's it.
So Matt, you wanted me to ask this question from Ryan Stevens in Ontario about some particular show
Yes.
in London, Ontario at the embassy in 1995, which sounded
Yeah.
fun. Did something amazing happen there?
Well, it was always amazing. That was always a really good experience. Tyson, a guy that we met, he and his mom owned the embassy hotel, and they were always so good to us. It was always a fun show. They put us upstairs, but we would sit there and drink whiskey after hours and play pool and like blast music through the PA and stuff after the show. But the reason I wanted that question asked is because London, Ontario wasn't on our collective map until we played a free show sometime in I think it was like 94, 95. And we went up to Canada to play. We played a free show at El Macombo in Toronto. And we're sitting there getting set up, and I'd had some kind of like flu bug or something. I was just getting over it. I was like pounding Gatorade, and I was just a little sore and cranky. And all of a sudden, hardly anybody's there, and it's getting close to showtime. And it was a free show. All of a sudden, like 20 people came in. Maybe it was fewer than that, but a bunch of people came in various states of inebriation. There were people on hallucinogenics, and they all had taken a limousine from London, Ontario to Toronto to see the show, and they proclaimed themselves our fan club and just proceeded to be the funnest people on earth. And this one guy who we still keep in touch with him, wonderful guy, whose name I won't mention just because I haven't checked with him to see if he wants to be mentioned. But he was in a bit of an altered state and very cheerful. And there was a bit of a carousal, a mosh pit, if you will, in front of the stage. And he went down. He tripped or fell over. But as he went down, his drowning man impulse grabbed for the nearest, kind of buoyant thing, which was a monitor. And he lugged it off the stage, and it landed squarely on his forehead and opened up this large yoni-like enormous opening in his forehead. He came up to me afterwards with his entire face caked with dried blood. And he was like, look, pointing at the enormous wound in his forehead. It's like, oh God, dude, you need to go get stitches for that. That's at least a 6 or 7. And he goes, I can't. I was like, why not? He's like, I'm tripping and I have an exam tomorrow. And so I thought, well, I would probably prioritize the wound in your head, but that's just me. It stopped bleeding, so you can probably sleep on it. He went home, and then he got in touch with us later, or maybe he saw us at the next show we played when we finally played at the embassy. Because Tyson, sorry, a long story, but Tyson was in that crowd, and that was how we got. And a guy named Jay later owned a place called the Whippet Lounge. It was really great, but they were there, and that was what our connection to London, Ontario was. But we found out later that he got out of his exam. He got to postpone it because he had a note from his doctor excusing him from the exam, and the reason the doctor gave was obvious head wound.
And that's should become at least 3 metal bands.
I was going to say.
Yeah, obvious head wound.
Should be like an Archer's tribute band. Obvious head wound.
We had a picture.
There's probably a lot of those already.
We had a picture of that guy at some point.
Yeah, we put it in one of our, it's in a collage. EJ and I would make collages for our albums, and I think it might have been the VV collage or Speed of Cattle maybe. There's a picture of him with his head wound.
Nice.
That's a long answer. I'm sorry.
No, that's all good. Here's a question, since Mark hasn't got to talk a lot, and you guys haven't. I think everybody said he had to answer this one, which is from Carolina Cooney, who says, "Ask Mark if he remembers the time that we were sitting next to each other in his apartment above the clean machine in Carborough, and we totally almost kissed, but didn't." Sorry, this is really important stuff. In Eric's eyes.
No, I don't.
It's fine.
I don't recall.
Okay, that's good. That's perfect length.
I mean, I have an old friend named Carolina, but I don't remember that. But
It's all
it was a long time ago. I did live above the clean machine,
I remember that.
but yeah. Don't ask me questions.
That's it. That's the only one you get. Now you have to retire. And social distance back there.
Yep.
Here's an interesting one. Luke Johansson wants to know if the song Acromegaly was connected to Andre the Giant, since he was a North Carolina guy for a while there too, right?
Yeah, it's definitely referring to him. And because I knew that he lived in North Carolina, and I know that I hate being big. I'm 6'6", and I never liked being a big person, and so I just some grasp for empathy towards his situation. That was his title. It was easy to write because lyrically, because it was an instrumental, but yeah, that was, and the way the song grew. It was the type of song when we were arranging it. And maybe some guys can shed light on this. It was the type of song where we could do this for an hour and a half, because it kept on. And we capped it at like 5 or 6 minutes or whatever it was. But yeah, he was definitely the reason. He was definitely the influence.
Yeah.
The title came.
I've forgotten that he lived in North Carolina. North Carolina's had some cool characters like him, Chang and Ang, the original Siamese twins or whatever, the conjoined twins.
Yeah.
They lived like Wilkesboro or somewhere. And then the McCrary twins, I was just talking about the McCrary twins with my buddy Mark the other day, and we were climbing. They're from near Hendersonville, fattest twins.
Oh.
They rode the motorcycles around.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, Billy and Bobby. I think Bobby and Billy.
I saw them in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. They used to be in the Christmas parade every year. So that we should have probably written
And Michael Jordan.
a trilogy in Michael Jordan.
Eric, you mentioned that song being easy to write lyrically. I want to ask you, like, I don't want to get too deep into asking about lyrics and make you uncomfortable, but you wrote all these Archer songs, then you probably, I don't know how many songs Crooked Fingers and solo songs there are. It's probably at least 100, right? Did it?
I think at least, yeah.
Does it feel like a different? Are you flexing different muscles when you're writing these?
Yeah.
These guys.
Yeah, it's a joy to do all of them if it's going well, and it's horrible to do all of them if it's not going well.
Uh-huh.
But with any of them, but the Archers thing, just talking about the lyrics, because the music stuff is completely all of us. I mean, I write the skeleton with the chords and everything, but what we do with that is his own thing. So, but lyrically, I think. In a way, once you find it, once you realize, oh yeah, this guy thinks Walmart sucks, which it does, and this guy is, pissed off and a smart aleck, and the character that you would write for Archers, that guy, you can, once you get that perspective, once you find it, it's okay. I was just finishing a song today, another one, EJ. Like, oh yeah, this guy, and when you go back to Crooked Fingers or it's a different perspective for sure. And they really, I used to think that they were, I mean, I still, that personality, it's just different aspects of your personality that you hyperbolize, that you exaggerate to get the point across. So I do believe in that David Bowie thing where you're creating a character, or that thing where you're sort of an actor and you're doing that. I believe that, but the other thing is they have to be in there. They're in there in a real way, you know. So you do that. I think with the Archers, a lot of it is more abstraction, where you have a very specific thing that you start with, and then you're just making it more and more abstract. You know, when the Archers, for me, and I don't know what these guys think about this, but when the Archers, if I present something to the Archers and it feels, I mean, they don't have to say anything. Mark, Matt, and Eric, you guys don't have to say anything, but if it's the feel of me singing it in front of them, I gotta make this more abstract, or I have to make this more, I have to go over here, you know, I have to go to a different spot because this is too literal or too close to home or too. So it's very, it's all about having this concrete idea, just stripping it away. And then when people hear the thing, they're like, well, that doesn't make sense. But to me, it makes sense, you know, because I know what the initial thing was. But that's part of the suggestiveness of it. And that's what makes it cool. You let people in and keep it open, suggestive, you know.
So are you saying that you feel like the Archer songs are all sort of almost from one character?
Sort of.
No.
Yeah, I am saying that. Well, yeah, one character with about 4 different emotions. Yeah, 4 different positions. You know.
Gotcha.
It's having a position. You know, Hardest in Slums is about how much I fucking hate Walmart. You know.
Feed problems.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it's, you know,
Yeah.
consumerism. It's silly. You know, it's a weird thing. And that guy wouldn't write a song for Crooked Fingers.
Oh.
Any
Any you guys want to defend Walmart? You three? No?
I had to go there to get a prescription.
They won, man. They won. They won. I get my glasses there.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
won. Yeah.
it saved me $350, so I had to do it. But yeah, it's a cesspool of COVID.
There's a lot of.
I
Let me put
got
it
a
this way.
couple of ugly looks because I was wearing a mask.
Let me put it this way about Walmart and Academy Sports. They got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of stuff. They revolutionized, say what you want, but they revolutionized inventory science.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome, world.
They employ like 30 million people, man.
That's right. We can only come up with 39 hours a week for you, so you
Hey,
can't
man.
log on to our benefits.
How many Archer songs are kind of A, recorded, or B, written, or
6 are
new
recorded.
songs, I mean?
6 are recorded, and then I'm
Okay.
sending Mark, Matt, and Eric just seeds. You know, I send them just skeletons. You know, just like me playing guitar and singing a chord change in a song. You know, and then we deconstruct it and turn it all around and change pattern. Just, you know, we just kind of destroy it and bring it back to life, and in a different way. I think EJ, how many have I sent you? I've sent you 5, 4.
Yeah.
So there's one I finished today,
Oh, nice.
and then I have a couple more. I think I have like, in all, we'll have like 9 more ideas, but there might be more than that.
Nice.
You know, sometimes they come real quick, and then sometimes it takes forever. But you know, a lot of it is, man, I have a wife that's an ICU nurse, and she's working with COVID patients and all that stuff. So I'm daycare man right now. I'm taking care of my kid. So I don't have time. Like everybody has all this time. I don't have any fucking time. I don't have any time. I'm taking care of a 3-year-old, you know? So it's hard to find time to write. It takes time to write, you know?
Well, let me plug it, since I know you guys won't, but Talking Over Talk,
Is that us?
you can pre-order the 7-inch now, and you can listen to both songs on your favorite
Having feed
digital
trouble.
whatever. Uh-oh. This is the curse of the loaf. I'm trying to sell some records for you, and we're cutting out.
Uh-oh.
So it's happening for everybody or just us?
I think it's just you guys.
How about now? Can you hear us?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
everybody sounds great.
So Talking Over Talk, you can pre-order now. Raleigh Days will come out. The 7-inch will come out on Record Store Day in August, if there are record stores again. The 7-inch, but you can listen to everything digitally now. You're agreeing with A?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the
Okay, I
truth.
believe you. I believe you.
Okay.
You're a savvy, smart
Well,
man.
I read the press release, you know.
Yeah.
A couple of people on this on the YouTube chat and other folks are asking about deep cuts that you maybe have wanted to bring back. Is there anything that that jumps out?
We had a few that we did bring back.
Yeah.
We dug up 2 old deep cuts. Like Telepathic Traffic, we never played until this past year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we talked about backwash, but it's just physically impossible.
That's my fault,
You
man.
have to replace your lungs with a set
Yeah,
of dramatic, like a compressor or something.
We tracked that. When I tracked that vocal, it was like I did a line, did the 3rd line, did the 5th line, and then I went back. Caleb went back and we did the 2nd line, the 4th line, just because it walks on itself. There's no breathing. And to do it live, it's like it's not. We could play it like at 30 beats per minute.
We should do that.
Be great.
I don't think it'd be great. I don't know.
We're just gonna hire 5 singers and do it as a round.
That'd be great.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then we also played The Worst Is Yet to Come.
Yeah, we did Worst Is Yet to Come.
Yep.
And that was one we might have played that a couple times, but that was almost never.
That was hard because we had weird guitar stuff with that. Like that was like you have one $20 guitar you bought at a shitty guitar shop in Berkeley, and you stick a wine also in it, and you record something with it, and you never play it again. So we're playing it now. We're trying to play it now, and I think it sounded pretty good, but I wasn't doing anything that I did on the original recording. I just kind of tried to mimic it and came up with a different way to do it. It works. It works okay.
The commenters are shouting for Density. That's a deep cut.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It is a deep one.
Yeah, that would take some work to relearn for me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, man. What is that?
I wouldn't hold out for that.
Okay.
Man, that'd be a hard
That's not gonna happen. Yeah, I don't. Sorry.
You've disappointed the YouTube commenters.
Oh man.
It's okay. They'll get over it.
Sorry.
Life isn't fair.
That's very true.
We're gonna have them.
They're disappointed because we're not going to do Density.
Some people just have bad taste. Like that's not our best song.
Where does that rank out of the 75?
That's like whatever. If we have 100 songs, that's 100.
Last place?
Yeah, it's like at the end. That's kidding. That's a shitty song, man. It's like from, Hello, 97. I don't know.
What else is at the top? Now I gotta know.
I don't know. I have to look at the song list. Let's rank them. Let me
Yeah,
find.
what
Levin
about,
Frost's number 1, obviously.
Are you rating your own children?
I am. I have one child. He's number 6.
Leonard,
Uh,
I'm glad I caught you here at breakfast.
yeah, I
Let me
think
tell you, you're my least favorite child.
Harness and Slums is number 1, or Audio Horror, something like that. I mean,
Those are fun ones.
those work. Those work 30 years later.
I might go Lowest Part Is Free.
That's up there. The EP
Oh,
works.
that's a fun
I agree
one.
with Matt. I agree with Matt about that. Anything on the EP? I mean,
Oh, yeah. But it was Josh that brought up Lowest Part Is Free.
yeah.
Josh is the one with good taste in this.
I'm one of your oldest fans, so I must be doing something right.
You're being kind.
Kind or kind?
Kind, not kind.
Kind.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't go. Now I'm bored with this joke.
With the
I look at
ranking
a song list. I'm like, I don't know.
they're all number 1 in our hearts,
I guess I don't. Or whatever.
except Density. Fuck that.
Yeah.
song.
That's fine. Yeah. I don't like. I don't like After the Last Laugh or Death in the Park. Those are low.
Oh man, I like both of those.
Yeah, but
How
You're
dare
wrong.
you?
you're wrong.
Well, I usually am. That's true.
I'm kidding.
Objective.
I'm kidding.
There's love in here for Bacteria as well, which was always one of my favorites. It feels
Yeah.
like the Lost. That's a top 10 for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that
Yeah, we
one.
could do that one. That was kind of cool. Yeah, that one
We were
works.
listening to that on the movie, and I don't know if you guys had the same problems I did when we redid it for the getting back together. I feel like when we played it back in the 90s, that long kind of coda at the end, like when to end it, it seemed real obvious to me back then. And now I cannot get the timing right to save my life.
Well,
Like,
we should put a gun to your head.
lessons.
We should put a gun to your head and say, get it right.
That would be awesome.
Or else.
Then
I would be okay with that.
you would have to get it
I
right.
still wouldn't get it right though.
Well, that'd be bad because then
Yeah.
we love you. We don't want that to happen.
It'd put you in an awkward position, yeah.
It would. It would.
Because I know I'd still screw it up.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh,
David. No, you wouldn't.
that's a good place to end with Matt crying. I feel like got a lot of questions. We got some. Is there anything you guys need to get off your chests? That
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah.
Come on.
No,
You
I
know
don't.
you
I mean,
do.
no, I don't.
I do. I
Oh, good.
invented COVID. That was COVID. I was playing around in my lab that I built in my basement.
You
and
did
I
it.
accidentally made COVID-19, and I'm sorry.
Twice, Matt.
All right. Good. Thanks for.
Thanks. Thank you
hanging
so much,
out.
Josh Modell.
Josh, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
My pleasure. It's
Very
nice
kind
to
to
see
do
you
this.
all.
We watched.
It's,
Thanks to everybody for tuning in and watching.
Yes,
sorry
indeed.
if we didn't answer all your questions,
Yeah.
but you know we'll do this every night until all the questions are gone.
That's right.
I'm game.
I can't
Block
wait.
out like an hour
All right.
every evening.
How long did we do this?
I think we're over about 50 minutes.
Whoa.
That
Wow.
wasn't too bad.
It flew by, didn't it?
Yeah, I was fine. I didn't mind.
That's the best we're gonna get out of you.
Yeah.
I got one question too many.
Sorry, Mark.
We're not huge for a reason, people. You understand? We don't want to be. Yeah.
It's a very good reason we're not more
We don't
successful.
want to be. We want to make money and play music, but we don't want to be famous. We want to go get coffee and stuff.
You're huge in our hearts.
Well, that's sweet.
You're huge in my heart.
Oh, thanks, Matt. Okay, I don't know how to not awkwardly end this, so let's how about we awkwardly wave goodbye?
No,
I think awkward is
Can we
good.
kiss?
No,
If you
that's
would. Oh no, don't.
I
don't.
do.
EB's got an idea.
No, I don't. I don't.
I can see it in your eyes.
I do, but I'm not going to go there. So
You're talking about getting
it was
naked, right?
hostile and dramatic. It was dramatic. But thanks. Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thanks y'all.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you,
you.
Josh.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody.
good to see you guys. Be safe.
You too.
Sorry. See ya.